Spartacat Nation, what's up? Welcome to this Thursday night evening game to kick off the Spartacat Spectacular. We're 10 seconds away from the end of practice here, our warm-ups. We are the very first game of this tournament to get on the ice. Our 12B2 team, our 12B1 team, and our 12A team all in this tournament as we host our first tournament of the season. Everyone getting ready. Your Spartacats in white, going from right to left for the first period on your screen, and the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars in baby blue, left to right, with a small but maybe mighty fan base on the other side of the stands there. Can't say much more about our team. Maybe they got stuck in that awful Inver Grove traffic. But we are here to bring you a game live, and we will see what we can have the girls produce today. Refs are on the ice, girls are on the ice. Coaches are on the bench. Joining us there is Coach McCollum, Overhammer, Bredimus, and Garofalo. Starting at center is Charlotte Reynolds, flanked by McCollum, Kelly at her wings. Bloomington brings that in. That goes to the sideboards for Bodsberg out front, who sends that into the corner. Abbott trying to bring that up the boards, gets intercepted there. Kelly's going to try to take over. That goes by her stick. Into the slot for Bloomington. Shot on goal, easily paddled aside by Levine. Back into the slot. Shot goes off, but not very far. Wraparound attempt, gets to the side of the net. And Levine will decide to just sit on it. Laid a big black puck egg. 13:27 left in the first period. Just getting underway here. Quick line change for a new set of players here. That one goes into the slot and bumped aside there by Maria Getke. Getke skating above ice, D-to-D play, sent out for a breakout. Spartacats able to bring it back in. Simons and Anderson fighting there for it, get it deep into the corner. Simons tried to get that. That one's going to get back to the point for Abbott. Abbott sends it back into the corner. Anderson trying to send it over to Simons. Getke watching behind. That one goes along the boards. Abbott will have to pinch, keep in as well, and she does. She takes the shot towards the crease. Goes off a couple sticks and skates, and Bloomington takes it behind their own net. Bloomington sends it up the boards. Bodsberg providing some pressure and keeps it in. Nice job, Vivian Bodsberg. Getke watching there. She is able to block that. Back to the point just by Bodsberg's stick. Spartacats will have to touch out. Bredimus going back, able to provide some pressure. Centering opportunity goes off the side of the net there as Bodsberg takes a skate in and up. Bodsberg's got Oberhammer. I think she might want the puck too. Gets it over to Oberhammer. Oberhammer's shot low, gets deflected and received by Bloomington. Oberhammer drives the net, runs into some pressure. Bloomington comes the other way, but Bredimus is able to keep it in the zone. Oberhammer will be the first on for the Spartacats. Ober and Bredimus fighting for it. That one gets sent up the boards. McCabe able to come in and keep it in. Oberhammer not able to keep control there. That one goes back into neutral ice. And we got picked up by McCabe, who's going to take a long skate around the back and then back up. McCabe sends it up the boards. Bloomington intercepts, sends it back in for Holman. Holman sends it up and out. Holman able to keep it out again, sends it up for Oberhammer. I'm sorry, that was not Oberhammer, but Eversteiner. Bloomington, did he pass behind the net? They're going to send it back again, reverse. One more time back, just for good measure. Ebersteiner to Oberhammer. Oberhammer trying to get that one sent on, gets tied up there. McCabe at the point, able to keep it in. Nice pinch. McCabe taking it towards the slot. That one gets deflected over to the other side of the ice. Bloomington sends it around back. Oberhammer trying to get there first. Nice pressure in the corner. Bredemus comes to help out. Pulls off the boards to herself. Bredemus gets a forehand shot. Gets deflected into the corner by a leg pad save from Jefferson Netminer. Shots 2-2 with 10:30 left in the first period. Oberhammer sends that up. Bredemus. Bredemus trying to live for that wraparound attempt. Gets stuck at the side of the net and covered. Nice offensive shift there for Spartacats as Reynolds, McCollum, Abbott, Bodsberg, and Kelly back on the ice for your Spartacats. Puck is down. Spartacats win that draw, send it into the corner. Bloomington picks it up behind the net and send it up the boards to an awaiting wing. That one gets sent to the other side and out into neutral zone. Bloomington able to briefly poke it aside there, and here comes Bloomington with an offensive opportunity. Shot coming. Save blocked there, just tipped up by Levine, but kept it out from the back of the twine. Bodsberg will go behind Abbott, watching that for center. That one goes up front to the side of the net, and Levine pokes it away. Bodsberg trying to make space for herself, not able to send it up the boards. Bodsberg sends it to the point and does get it out, and here comes Reynolds to chase after it after number 5. Bloomington takes it behind their net, goes the other direction here. Nice job by Abbott to get a stick on it. Nice job by Reynolds to get some pressure off. That one's loose as well. Abbott takes control, sends it up to the point. That hops over a stick, luckily. And back down for Kelly. Kelly brings it to the center slot. She's trying to make room for herself. Runs into a whole boatload of blue jerseys. And now they're going to come the other way. That hits a stick and a skate. McCabe after it, able to keep it in. Getke on the attack. Getke and Simons. Simons tried to center that there. Send it out front. Almost a nice receipt there by McCollum. That one up the boards. Nice job by Abbott to provide some pressure. McCabe keeps it out, trying to kick it ahead to herself. That one finds a Bloomington skater. Send aside there, Getke. Bring it up the boards. Nice puck protection out front to Anderson. A little too hot to handle. Nice idea by Getke though. Bloomington brings that in onside. And Holman will be first on it for the Spartacats. Holman sends it to the center, the top of the circle slot there, and then brings it back out. Getke sends it to the boards for herself, and she's going to make some space. Getke going, got Anderson on her right side. Shot on goal, gets covered, still loose. Early whistle, ref lost sight of it, but girls were rushed in the net and had a good rebound opportunity there. Shots 3-3 on either side. Bredemus, McCabe, Holman, Oberhammer. Bredemus at the draw. Bredemus wings that over to the side for Oberhammer. McCabe shot, trying to get that to deflect off some shin pads. Bredemus sends that up to the point. A little too hot for Holman. That one's waved off. She must have touched it a little bit. McCabe trying to find Oberhammer, and does. And that one gets out to the center. A little bit back and forth. Offside is a whistle. Bloomington got caught cheating. Didn't quite clear in time, so we will get a face-off. This close dot here. 7:32 left in the first period. Bredemus pushed that over to Oberhammer. Oberhammer fighting it, kicking it ahead to herself. Back to Bredemus. Oberhammer Oberhammer got her stick caught, so she lost control. That one goes back to neutral ice. Offside again is the call. Offside, a favorite whistle of 12U B2 play these days. Puck down for Reynolds. She sweeps that over to an awaiting Abbott, who was able to get it back into the neutral ice. Back onside, back into neutral. Abbott, little fight along the neutral right there. That one goes back for Bosberg. Bosberg is going to try to keep it to outside, sends it right up the middle. That one gets tipped in, should be onside, and it is. Reynolds in a foot race, trying to get there first for the Spartacats. That one gets sent out. Nice wing coverage there by number 13. Able to keep that in control, but Bosberg, oh, poor call. Interference, I don't know about that, as the player had the puck. So I don't know how you interfere with someone who has the puck. Very strange penalty coming against the Spartacats. They will be on their first penalty kill of the evening. 5-on-4 play commencing with 6:45 left in the period. Puck's down, pushed forward. That one gets loose in the slot, but poked aside by a couple and Levine. Holman reverses around again, just needs to send that D to D so he can get it out of the zone. Centered across. Shot couldn't get off. Anderson with great D right in front of the net. Holman brings that aside, sends that up and out. Nice job, Harper Holman. That one goes all the way down, and Bloomington will have to touch up and try again. 56 seconds left in the first period. Holman up ice and out. Almost a nice little breakaway there by Simon. She picks it back up. Oh, potential 2-on-1 was broken up there. Anderson, nice back check to get it up the boards and back out. Bloomington will need to touch up. They go D to wing and bring that back in on side. Goes across. Levine kicks that into the corner away from her crease. That one goes behind the net for McCabe. 20 seconds left in this penalty kill. Trip coming on number 95 blue. Refs calling this one super tight. Weak tripping penalty.
You should have saw the one she got. She went into the girl. Like, the girl leaned against her, then she hit the puck. They both skated about length of advertising. The girl fell having her trick. I'm like, this isn't breezy. And I'm like,
Breezy refs call it tight too.
no.
4-on-4 hockey for 17 seconds here. And then the Spartacats will find themselves on the advantage side of a power play. Bosberg, nice pinch, sends it towards the slot. Brennemus fighting for it. That one back for Bosberg. Bosberg sends that up the boards, trying to find Oberhammer, does briefly. That one sent back to Bosberg. Bosberg loses it there, sent ahead for Bloomington to receive. That one goes back in. Oberhammer drags that ahead to herself, and she's got some space ahead of her. Power play now for the Spartacats. Oberhammer not able to pinch. That one's going to get sent down all the way. Icing is the whistle. 4:55 left with 54 seconds left on the advantage. On the ice is Oberhammer, Ebersteiner, Brennemus, Bosberg, and Abbott. Puck's down. That one gets sent up for Abbott, who's able to keep that in, sends it to the corner. Oberhammer trying to get to it first. That one gets reversed around back. Brennemus watching carefully, kept in there by Abbott. Abbott backhands it back to the Spartacats. Centering opportunity, gets stuck in some skates. Oberhammer fighting for it. That one up to the point, kept in by Bosberg, who's been doing that all season long. Trying to send that gently up into the circles. Brennemus will have to give chase. Puck gets stuck on the boards, and Abbott's able to pick that up and keep it in the zone. That one goes back out to neutral zone. Nice job by Bodsberg to stay back. Bodsberg sends it up, that goes back in, offside is the whistle. 4:05 left, scoreless game. Shots 4-3 in favor of the Jaguars. Not a lot of shots. Need some more shots. Puck's down, Holman. Holman trying to get that back out, does with the help of Bloomington. Bloomington, speedy number 17 brings it in. Shot goes across the crease. Bloomington not able to get a shot off. McCollum fighting for it. Got help there by Reynolds. Bloomington keeps it in. Kelly will be first on it. Bloomington has out front. That one gets intercepted there by McCabe. Down as well. That one goes up into the air. Still bouncing around. Back up to the point. That one high and wide goes into the corner. It goes across. Nice one-time opportunity there. Goes past the stick of a Jaguar. Back to the point. Need to get this one out. That one goes behind the net. McCabe, be wise, just send up the board. She does. Bloomington there with a pinch. That one goes past the stick of McCollum. And they'll have to take advantage of the line change here. McCollum tries to get up. Stuck on the boards. Nice kick out by McCollum. Way to use your skates. Holman able to get that back out with the help of a ref there. Back in, back out. Holman back out. It was offside, but now it's back in the center, so we'll just keep playing. Back in for Bloomington. McCabe able to get that back out. They will have to touch up, and now it's offside. 2:35 left in this so far even yet uneventful period. If exciting event to our viewers is a goal. Simons to take the draw. Puck down, goes past Anderson's stick. Anderson's going to pick that up and try to keep it to the outside. She does, brings it in, tried to find some space for herself. It's going to get help there with Simons out front. That one gets sent back to the boards for Bloomington. Simons not able to keep it in, but does regain possession. Trying to find some space, gets it over to Getke, who loses an edge. Back up for Simons, back out for Bodsberg. Nice job there by Abbott to send it back up. That one gets sent in. No icing. 2 minutes left in this first period. Puck center on the boards. Anderson with a nice pinch. Simons getting it over to no one. Bloomington loses it behind the net. Anderson trying to pick that one up. That one goes up the boards. Bodsberg watching. Nice job by Abbott to pick that up. Abbott sends that over to Simons, to Bodsberg. Getke not able to get control of it. Simons waiting for her team to clear and does. Nice little step there by Anderson as she tries to get into the zone with Getke. Sent to the boards. Bloomington picks it up at the red line, sends it D to D behind the net. 1:20 left. Abbott steps up. Not able to keep it in, but she will. Abbott sends it across to the top of the circles. Bloomington will take it behind the net. Abbott looking for the pinch, intercepted by Bredemus. Bredemus takes the shot, gets intercepted there. Anderson still trying to take a whack at it. Back to the point for Abbott. Abbott sends it up the boards. Bredemus takes it. 54 seconds left. Bredemus still fighting for it, trying to get it over to Anderson. Anderson tied up in front of the net. 47 seconds left. In the first period, that one gets sent around for Oberhammer. Oberhammer, nice centering opportunity there. Doesn't get through to Anderson, but Bredemus with a good pass to keep it in. A nice job with Bodsberg to keep it. That one gets sent up and over. Bredemus kicks it ahead with her skate. Out front for Oberhammer, who's chasing pressure behind the net. That one up for Bloomington. Nice stick by Bodsberg. All sorts of players go down. Ebersteiner takes it. 15 seconds left. Takes it up, sends it to Oberhammer. Up to Bredemus. 8 seconds left. Ebersteiner behind her. 3 seconds left. Out front. And goal! 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 Barely beats the whistle at 0.3 seconds left. Nice hustle by Bredimus to throw it on net. Good things happen when you shoot the puck. Exciting end of the period here for the Spartacats, who go up 1-0. Excuse my screaming. Nice period for the Spartacats. We will be back with the second. And we're back for the second period. Spartacats find themselves on the positive side of a 1-0 lead with an exciting last second goal there by Bredimus. Oberhammer attributed with the goal.
I was gonna say, who got the goal?
Oberhammer, yep. Elin got that goal. I thought Bredimus might have had a touch of that too, so I'm not sure who the assist was. Back to the slot. Blocked aside there by Levine. Back to the point for Bloomington as they send it deep into the corner. Holman has it behind the net. Sends it around for McCullum. Back out for Holman. Holman will be back on it for the Spartacats. Back up to the Bloomington point. Goes off his skate. Send to the crease. Goes off a stick. Bloomington has it out front. Not able to center as McCabe picks it up behind the net. McCabe sends it up to the Bloomington point. They send that on hard or low and hard into the corner. Back out. McCabe has that on the side of the net. Sends that out. You need to be careful with those feeding the point, but Reynolds able to get that back out to center ice. Reynolds brings that in. No way! No way! Offside. Looks like we had touched back up there, but they called it offside. Unfortunate, to be sure. Simons tries to push that over to Anderson. Bloomington the other direction. Nice job by Bodsberg with a good stick. That one gets left out front. Back to Bloomington. They pass that back out of their zone. Getke trying to find the puck there. That one goes back in. Anderson able to send it back to neutral ice. Sent back in. Simons picks that up. Up to Getke. Nice job. Getke sends it up the boards. Able to keep it in herself. She got Anderson streaking towards the net as well. Getke behind the net. Centering opportunity. That one goes up, back up to Bodsberg. Bodsberg up to Getke. Getke with a nice catch. Center to Anderson. Shot towards the net. Another center coming. Anderson trying to pick that one up again. Anderson over to the side. Simons on net. Almost had a nice little bounce there. Nice job to send it in front. Good job. Bosberg high and bounces to wide left to the net. Anderson. Nice pressure. Nice forecheck here by the Spartacats. Simons trying to get that back to center as well. Getke sniffing that one out. 11:20 left in the second. Back up for Bosberg. That one goes by her stick. Abbott to back check. Got one across. Blocked by Levine. Loose out in front. Nice save there by Levine, and then out of harm's way. Shot goes high, tipped into the air. Abbott sends that up, hits the skate of Anderson. Anderson pushed off the puck. Simon skated by that one. Up the boards for Anderson. We're trying to. Simons over to Getke. Getke has Anderson ahead of her. Anderson waits. Gets it in on net, and she'll skate towards it. Takes a player down. Anderson trying to take advantage of the puck that gets stuck, and here comes Bosberg. Takes a second for herself, sidesteps, shot. Gets deflected aside. Ebensteiner, Bredimus, and Getke able to keep that in the zone. Getke sends it to the corner. That one goes around. Bloomington not able to exit with it. Hook called on Maria Getke. Didn't see her near another player, so wonder how that happens. Second penalty kill of the game for Spartacats. Out front, swept aside. That one goes behind the net. Holman providing pressure, able to kick that aside, and here comes Bredimus. Bredimus sends it up. Ebensteiner. Ebensteiner has one to beat, and that one gets sent to the sideboards. Bloomington brings that back in. Nice pinch there by Spartacats. And here comes Ebersteiner. Ebersteiner gets around one. She's got some space, and shot coming. Saved right and out front and covered. Nice pressure by Ebersteiner for a short-handed goal opportunity. We will take those all day long. 9:32 left in the second period. 1 minute left in the penalty kill. Reynolds at the draw. Puck's down for Reynolds. Reynolds trying to push that back to Holman. Reynolds able to keep that away from pressure. That one gets sent down. McCabe sends that up the boards. And here we go. Delayed penalty coming on Bloomington. Shot and save. A lot of penalties being called here. Number 6 on Bloomington with a checking penalty. Still doesn't know that she needs to go off the ice. Yes, you. Me? I didn't do anything. Maybe a makeup call, I'm not sure. 4-on-4 hockey for 39 seconds. That one out front for Reynolds. Reynolds sends that one a little bit wide. Oberhammer rushing to it. And that one goes by Bosberg's stick. 2-0 opportunity coming here. Shot coming. Goes wide. Levine had the save anyway. Nice pressure there. Out front. Bosberg. Reynolds trying to get that one out. That one goes sent behind the net. Up the boards. Bloomington comes on the ice. Back up into neutral zone. Spartacats back at full strength as Bodsberg picks up the puck. Loses it briefly, but Abbott's there to help back it up. Bodsberg gets sent down, no penalty. That one sent in on net. Swept aside by Abbott. Kelly bringing that one up with some space and speed. Trying to bring that to the center. Bloomington able to keep that. Back to center there. Bodsberg brings that in and gets right back out. Oberhammer sends that deep into the zone. That one gets sent out, kept in by Bodsberg. Bodsberg to the slot, shot out loose out front. Nice rebound opportunity. Bodsberg trying to find the center there as well. McCullum going to go there. Both teams now at full strength. That one gets poked aside there. Center opportunity. Nice job, send back to the point. That one gets swept aside. Bodsberg going to try to get there for it. Gets beat there by Bloomington. They skate by it, and Simons sends it behind the net. 7:20 left in the second period. Cats up 1-0. Bloomington retrieves. McCullum trying to center. That one gets picked up by Simons. Back to the point for Holman. Holman gets to go by her stick. That's a good back check. Nice body protection there by Holman as Simons comes the other way. Quick line change to get Anderson on the ice, and she got onside. Anderson, Simons fighting for it in the corner. McCabe doing a good job of getting to the far point. That one's out for McCabe, like she planned it. Shot coming and blocked. Holman back, that one gets sent over. Nice job to get back, and nice stick by Anderson there. Need to protect the front of that net. McCabe doing a good job behind. Centering opportunity gets deflected aside, and that crease is cleared. Back again for Anderson, is able to get around one. Anderson has some space, got some defenders to come. Tries to pull it to the center, but that one goes back to the side boards there. Out. Icing will be waved off as Bloomington picks it up. Sharp angle shot, paddled aside by Levine. And here comes Getke. Getke trying to send to the boards. That one gets deflected. Now back up for Bloomington. Anderson trying to get to the wall. Here comes Getke again. Still having trouble getting it out of the zone. And here comes Bredimus. Bredimus in a foot race. Pulls it to the side, trying to make center room for herself. And a nice save there by the goalie. Getke trying to center it as well. Good pressure and opportunity there for Getke and Bredimus. That one goes by McCabe's stick. Getke sends it into a player. Tries to send that one well. Fighting back and forth. Getke backhands that towards the net. And taken over by Bloomington. Bredimus able to keep it in. Getke, Ebersteiner. Ebersteiner. Shot and goal! Ebersteiner brings the Spartacats up 2-0. Nice forecheck pressure by the Spartacats. 9 shots on goal, 2 hit fly in the back of the net. 5:16 left in the second period. Let's go, Spartacats! Trying to figure out who to attribute the goal to, but no, it was Ebersteiner. Puck's back down. Sent to the sideboards. Ebersteiner brings that back in. Sent up. Bredimus. Nice. Back up, Ebersteiner, still not finished, trying to keep it to her. Bredimus shot gets deflected. Bredimus trying to send that forward again. Bodsberg to the rescue. Bodsberg making some space. That one gets sent in, just hits the side of the net. Ebersteiner, nice job to use the net as a cover. Out front for Bredimus to Ebersteiner. Ebersteiner just loses control of it. That one for Abbott. Abbott sends it wisely into the corner. Nice pressure here by the Spartacats. Back out to the point for Bodsberg. Nice flip pass up the glass. Bodsberg trying to send that Oberhammer out front. Abbott. D-to-D pass to Bodsberg. Everyone trying to stay on their forehand. Briefly intercepts the progress there. Bloomington brings it in. Abbott towards the net. That one goes off her skates. And Spartacats will go back into the box again on a roughing penalty. If this was a district game, we'd be very close to flirting with a fair play point here, so you got to be disciplined on that. Puck's down, out of the slot. Bloomington on a power play. Levine sweeps that aside, blocked. Centering opportunity, shot and goal. Power play goal for Bloomington Jefferson. Cut the lead down to 1. Puck down from Reynolds. Up at the top of the point. Back out for McCullum. And here comes the Spartacats the other direction. Kelly sends that into the corner. Kelly skates by it. Reynolds comes in to help. That one gets sent up the boards. Holman looking to defend and does. Leaves that for Reynolds. That one left for McCullum. McCullum sends it into the corner. Nice job there. Up the boards, kept in by McCabe. McCabe sends that in on net. That one gets tipped aside by the Bloomington netminder. Bloomington sends that up to the point. Holman able to retrieve, helped by Charlotte. Reynolds. Bloomington not able to get it out. Reynolds will keep it in, send it deep, or a little bit further at least. Back up for Holman. Holman shot on net, gets tipped behind the net. 2:30 left in the second period. Back to the boards. Reynolds trying to gain control. Kelly will follow. Cullum out front trying to wait for a centering pass. That one go to the point, but sent all the way down. That one swept aside by Holman with a nice back check. That one sent across the crease, sent up to the Bloomington point, shot low. Up and out. Spartacats trying to dig that off the wall. Cullum trying to get away with it. Cullum sends it deeper into the net, gets through. Shot hits the side of the net, trying to sneak it in there. 1:30 left in the second period. Bloomington making space for themselves. Shot covered there by Levine. Crease is cleared, nice save. Getke backhands that for Anderson. Anderson going to try to make some space for herself. Takes it to the outside, got Reynolds behind her. Anderson trying to center, Getke comes in. Getke tried to get a shot from a sharp angle. Bodsberg able to keep it in, can't get it over to the center, and they send that one back out. Bodsberg had to stick on it to prevent it from going further. Bodsberg backhands it over to Simons. Simons brings it in on side. Simons has Anderson out front. She gets taken down, no call. 36 seconds left. Getke takes a shot that doesn't make it all the way through, but she picks that back up. Shot hits the side of the net. 25 seconds left. Anderson behind the net, trying to provide pressure. That one gets intercepted by Bodsberg. Simons has to go by her stick. Getke. Getke has some space out front. That one goes up in the air. Simons not able to recover. Bodsberg still waiting at that blue line, able to keep it safe at the red line. 3 seconds left. 2-1, and that is second period. Spartacats 2-1 after 2. Fast period, a couple penalties on either side. Coach Jason and Nick dropping some wisdom bombs. Shots on goal, 11-9 in favor of the Jaguars. Tomorrow night, trying to remember who we play. Is it Osio's somewhere in here? And you know who the game is tomorrow night? Forgot who it is. And we set back up for the third period here. And we're back down for the third. Bloomington picks it up in their own, but Eberstein are able to keep control, trying to center that over to Oberhammer. Oberhammer fighting for it behind. Centers that off, but it hits the back of the net. Oberhammer using some protection. Centers out front, gets intercepted. Holman goes to the boards to keep it in. Nice job Holman. Oberhammer back to the boards. She'll pick it up again and try to find her way back to the net. Shot on goal gets bumped aside. Cave, that one slips by her, and she'll be the first on it for the Spartacats. Sends it back up to the point for Oberhammer, who's able to dump it in and deep into the corner. Oberhammer, Bradimus trying to take it to the side. McCabe sends it on net. Goalie wasn't quite ready for that, saw that last minute. That one sent back up for Bradimus. Ebersteiner has Oberhammer out front. Bradimus looking to make some space, gets it over to McCabe. Nice pass, deflects off a skate. Oberhammer again behind, trying to center that out for Bradimus. Bradimus finds that. Trying to find her forehand, not able to get it. Oberhammer on her backhand out front. Ebersteiner ran out of space. That one goes off the skate of Holman and picked up by McCabe. McCabe sends that over. 2-on-2 opportunity here with Oberhammer. Steps around one. Nice move, shot, and saved by the Jaguar netminder. Nice step by Elin Oberhammer. Get around.